just a few days ago, Kotaku got absolutely wrecked by gamers for saying that skippable boss fights in video games are actually good. And now TheGamer is trying to one-up that awful take by saying games like Bloodborne should be nicer to you when you die. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, if you just get good and you don't die in a video game, then you don't have to see the death screen. It's really that simple. But of course, video game journalists don't actually play games. They're not very good at them when they try. Look at what happened with Dean Takahashi in Cuphead, or even David Jaffe in Metroid Dread, and now they have to put up articles crying about how video games are too mean to them. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, there's no shot that this is a legitimate take. This clearly has to be some sort of joke, but Andrew King, the person who actually wrote this article, doesn't have a history of writing like satire pieces. They're not very funny, clearly. So I think that this is legit. It says, though, has this happened to you? You're slowly making your way through Bloodborne's forbidden woods, carefully rolling to take out that sniper who loves to shoot you from the other side of the bridge, slicing your saw through them, then cautiously moving on. You softly step along the forest trail. I mean, bro's over here writing a fan fiction, right? Where's the NSFW tag? Only to hear a mechanical clank as a spiked log falls loose and swings down from the trees into your hunter. It kills you instantly. As you lie there dying, your echoes pooling on the cobblestone, you see two words appear on the screen in blood red: you died. Okay. I also think that it's funny that they're using Bloodborne as the game. Like, I love Bloodborne, don't get me wrong, but there's no other modern game that you could use as a reference to make it feel a little bit less outdated. I don't know. In the ever-raging debate about whether From Software games are too difficult and or whether they should have an easy mode, a more important question is being overlooked. Namely, should these games hurt my feelings? Yes, because you fucking suck at the game and that's not the game's fault. I thought about this a lot last year when I played through Silent Hill 2. I tackled Bloober Team's remake in one of the two ways you're legally required to play it early enough in the morning that it was still dark outside. Those bleary-eyed sessions led me to dying more than I probably would have if I was properly caffeinated. Probably not. You are most likely just very bad at the game. Regardless, though, scrolling down, it says, when you get to a particularly tricky part of any game, you get well acquainted with the game over screen. You know it's coming, and it's usually accompanied by an ominous sound effect to really drive home your failure. When you're taking on a From Software boss over and over, you get used to hammering on the X button, trying to push through this acknowledgement of your failure, and getting back to the game as soon as possible to do the whole humiliating ritual all over again. Unfortunately, the truth is that From Software games aren't actually being mean. Well, the log trap is mean, but in a funny way. You can easily imagine Miyazaki and the team laughing at each new player who falls for it, like the Jackass crew during the high five prank. The game over screen isn't particularly nasty. Saying you died isn't unkind per se. It's just truthful and blunt. I cannot believe that in 2025, we have a video game journalist talking about how game over screens are hurting their feelings. It's like these people want to be viewed as jokes. It's like they don't want to be taken seriously anymore. It's like they're speedrunning, killing any sort of career they might have had in this industry. It's very reminiscent of that Kotaku article a few days ago where they were saying, could we be about to enter a skippable boss fight utopia? Sure, maybe a few casual gamers out there like that idea, and if you're one of those people, that's okay. You can have that opinion. I think that if you were just posting that on social media as a normal gamer, as a customer, that would be one thing. But for a video game journalist, somebody who gets paid to play video games, saying that this should be the direction of the industry, this should be the future, it just does not sit well with me, because it just means that they would abuse that feature and they wouldn't actually play the game itself. The whole point of having a boss fight is to play it. If you don't like playing boss fights, why don't you just go and watch a movie that has the equivalent of a boss fight? It kind of reminds me of playing a tough game with an annoying friend on the couch next to you. You're dying a lot. Yeah, thanks for your input, Anthony. Nobody wants to be confronted with their failure. Yes, you should want to, because when you fail and you go back into the boss fight and you fail again, you go back into the boss fight, every single time you are fighting the boss, you are one step closer to completing the boss fight. You are progressing, you are learning. So you do want to be confronted with your failure so that you can grow, so that it challenges you. So when a game mocks us or even just plainly states the facts of our performance, it can be difficult to hear. Maybe it's difficult for you to hear because you are working over at TheGamer, which is Valnet, and there's a lot of toxic positivity going on there, and everybody wants to pat each other on the back, and nobody wants to admit that they just are not good at video games. But it just is such a whiny article. Like, oh my gosh, it's bothering me so much. And of course, they're getting absolutely roasted for this take. It should be normal to be offended if you die. Just don't die. People cringing. This is the worst opinion I have ever seen. Games, journalists, difficulty settings. How tough are you? Can I play daddy? Don't hurt me. Bring 'em on. I am death incarnate. What they'd prefer it said, you participated. Ahoy, soy. Why? I made one mistake too many. I died. The screen is short. I don't need the game to give me a rah, you'll get him next time champ speech. No, Andrew King. I don't think that we should do that. Bloodborne is the nicest game of From Software's catalog. It's the least punishing on that you only lose your blood when you die and it doesn't do other things to punish you. I would generally agree with that. Like, yeah, it's definitely not the most punishing, that's for sure. They should say skill issue instead. Nope, we should do the exact opposite. If I was a dev, I'd insult the journos any chance I had. Courtesy, Sir Whoop-Ass. Player repeatedly dies in the tutorial level. How many times have we heard about journalists trying to record themselves or talk about their quirky, relatable experiences, and then everybody just wrecks them because there's like a million different examples, most notably Dean Takahashi in the Cuphead tutorial, that I think of when I see that. I'm convinced the only reason it doesn't roast you is because the technology isn't available yet. No, get good. These people just suck. It should get meaner over time. Outright saying the game should infantilize and coddle the players. Sad. Some people should just play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So most gamers are absolutely wrecking the gamer. Just a few days ago, Kotaku had gotten wrecked for their skippable boss fights take, and it just seems like these people really are speedrunning to the end of their career. They don't want to be part of the video game industry anymore, and it's really just like they're full mask off now with how much they hate not only gamers, but games themselves. It's because they suck at them and they can't complete them most of the time, so they have to talk about ways that developers should change their creations, which just is not sitting well with most people. So I'll be keeping my eye out for more absolutely brain dead takes like this, but we had Kotaku begging for more skippable boss fights, and now we have TheGamer saying games like Bloodborne should be nicer to you when you die. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.